Man, that was strange. We probably got about 20 seconds of silence there. It was showing
Yeah.
it wasn't live yet. But what's up, guys? Welcome into Packers Total Access Postgame Show. My name is Clayton. You can check us out on Packernet.com. Find me on Twitter at Packers_access. Email us PackersTotalAccess@gmail.com. You can text us 865-658-5824. Join alongside Emilio in Tennessee. Tim's probably making his way back across the Fox River, trying to get warmed up, dried off as he was there for this rain-soaked game. This picture, by the way, came from Tim there at the game.
What a spot.
Yeah, pretty nice, man. Pretty nice. Now, I don't know. He might have snuck down there and took that picture.
Yeah, right.
He might have been sitting there. You never know about Tim. But obviously the Packers drop a tough one here to the Detroit Lions, 24-14 in an absolute monsoon at Lambeau Field. Before we get into all the stats, all the highlights, all that good stuff. So, obviously, man, this was a wild game. The Packers lose by 10 points, 24-14. It felt like it should have been by 30. You know, it never at any point, I don't know how you feel, Emilio, but never at any point during that game did I really feel like, outside of the first quarter, that I feel like, man, the Packers going to win this. You know, Sometimes you think you got a shot, and I did feel like that until the pick six. Yeah. But once the pick six happens, it's like, man, when you lose the middle eight and the turnover differential on one play, that's tough. And what I mean by that is, there's absolutely no chance with the Lions getting the ball in the second half that you're going to be able to get the ball back in less than 4 minutes to score 10 points, right? It just can't. It's impossible. So virtually impossible anyway. But what's your initial thoughts on the game? And then we'll dive into the comments. I know it's absolutely lit up right now. And we'll hit on the box score, all that good stuff. But how you feeling about this loss here? Is it really bad? Is it not as bad as it seemed? How are we feeling about it, man?
Yeah, not a beautiful game, obviously. It really basically what you said all the way into, that pick six. I was pretty much fine with the game. I was happy that we only had given up 3 in the middle 8 and, their second quarter in general. So that was huge. That was a big key to the game that I was talking about. We got to stop them putting up 100 points in the second quarter. We held them to 3, then the pick six made it 10. And it just kind of snowballed after that. But, a lot to take from the game, I think. Some good stuff, some bad stuff, definitely. We really need to sharpen up. But besides that, a tough one to sit on now, right?
Yeah, definitely. Looks like we got Matt LaFleur at the podium. Before we get into the comments, guys, let's go ahead and go to the podium here with Matt and see what he has to say about this loss here against Detroit, as the Packers, like I said, lose 24-14. Thank you, Amelia. I was trying to pull it up there and stall. Here we go. Here's Coach LaFleur at the podium.
With the play, throwing the ball away, and when it's time to actually try to make something out of it when he's getting flushed like that.
No, I think that's a fine line. It's a hard thing to really. You always teach in the rhythm of the play. When it goes off schedule, you just got to be smart. You got to be smart with the football in a one possession game. And I know he's doing everything in his power to make a play. But sometimes, again, I got to go back and look at it before I can give you a good answer on that.
Big picture, though, he was so smart with the football for the second half of last season. He threw 1 pick in the last 8 games. He's now got 10 already this season. What do you think? What are the reasons why that would be the case?
Well, every pick's going to be a little bit different. So is it something that I feel like we can get better. We can learn from it, and I think we will be better moving forward.
Do you guys try and coach catching passes in these conditions a certain way? Why do you think that was such an issue today?
No, you coach the same fundamentals of attacking the football, aggressive hands. It is harder when it's raining out. It is. It's just, but you got to really focus in on just the concentration of it, tucking it all the way in. And obviously we didn't do that.
At the false starts, is that lack of focus too?
Yeah, I think that you can definitely lump those in the focus category where we got to be better, because some of those just are totally unnecessary. We're going on a double cadence, and I never want us, that's an advantage for an offense. I never want us not to do that. Like, I think that's an important part of it. That is your one advantage on offense, is that you control when the ball is snapped. And that's a great advantage when you're at home, when there's not as much crowd noise. and we just got to dial in and be better focused.
You mentioned going 1 for 4 in the red zone. Why do you think your team has been struggling to finish drives consistently throughout the season so far?
Well, I think a lot of it stems back to the penalties. So I would think that's a big part of it. And then we had back-to-back possession or back-to-back snaps where the ball's on the ground. So that's another one.
Take your pick.
Snaps, is
Yeah.
that
I haven't seen it. My eyes aren't focused on the snap. My eyes are focused on the defense. Then you look back, you hear, the crowd or whatever, and you look back and the ball's on the ground. So I don't know what happened.
You heard Tim
What do you
cussing.
think of the
Oh yeah, definitely.
opportunity you guys kind of squandered where Branch gets the 15-yard penalty, ejected, gets another 15-yard penalty? What did you think of that situation?
Yeah, we didn't capitalize on it.
Is it a delicate balance with a young quarterback that's capable of making all the plays that Jordan is to coach him in a way that he still has that
You guys
freedom?
are gonna I know, I understand. Like, it's really annoying up here, though. Like, we're obviously he's fighting, he's competing, and we know that we've got to take care of the football. But I don't question anything about what he's trying to do. We just got to do it better.
2 more, please.
All right, we'll just wrap it up there. They said 2 more, but we've had enough. We've had enough. So obviously the beeping in the background there too. Like, why not? Let's just throw Tucker Kraft up there on the forklift. We're good to go.
Oh, hitting it.
All right. So obviously he addressed a lot of stuff there. Was asked a lot of questions. I understand what he's saying too. Like, hell, you guys hear me say it on the postgame show sometimes. People will have an emotional response to a play or a specific outcome, and I'm like, man, I had to go watch it. Like, I can sit here and act based off emotion. We can do that, but it's not an accurate assessment of what actually happened on this play or that play. And obviously the snaps were an issue. There was a lot of stuff that he talked about there. We'll go to the chat here, kind of see how everybody's feeling. First things I want to read off the important statistics here. The middle 8. The Green Bay Packers lost the middle 8 10-0. Okay, so give that to the Lions. We lost the turnover differential 1-0. Give that to the Lions. The explosive plays were tied 5-5. Okay, so each team had 5 explosive plays. So, we've seen it the last 2 weeks, losing the turnover battle or losing the middle 8 or both, and the Packers somehow pulled out a win. It finally caught up with them today, no doubt about it. So that's the important statistics. Now, the first down passing, man, Amelia, you heard me complaining during the whole game, right? Like, it was rough. Josh Jacobs was averaging almost 9 yards a carry, and we went completely away from him, right? I think he finished with 10 carries for 89 yards in the first half. And it's like, at some point, you've got to just lean on him. Now, he got banged up. I seen him leave in the third, but then he came back toward the end of the game. So maybe there's some of that. That's why you want to kind of hold judgment too much there. But at the same time, you've got other running backs. Just the fact that you kept throwing on first down. And in the first half, you completed 3 of those 5 first down passes. And obviously had 2 incompletions. So you threw 5 first down passes in the first half. The second half, when you're trailing by that margin, it's hard to kind of take the first down passes into consideration because you're trying to come back, right? You're not going to lean on the run as much. But you had 9 in the second half, 5 for completions, 4 that were incomplete. So that's how that landed there. Packers won the explosive battle in the first half. They lost it in the second half, which, the run there at the end of the game was an explosive for the Lions, which put them over the top for the Packers. But go ahead, man. What were you going to say? Anything that trigger there?
Yeah, no, it's just it was a tough game, right? They there's still a lot to work with on this team, but man, too many penalties was probably the biggest thing that Matt said. I think it was out of hand when they put up that stat. What we had 4 or 5 penalties. The Lions were 0 for 0. We were 4 for 30 yards or something like that. That's been a problem all year. The fact that we've almost been in double-digit penalties, or could possibly be, anywhere from 5 to 10 penalties a game average, that's out of hand. And it really is killing our offense, killing our drives, keeping the defense on the field when we make those mistakes. So all of those mental mistakes are hurting our overall goal of trying to get that dub, and it showed tonight.
Yeah, no, penalties are something too that I don't harp on too much, but they're absolutely huge. It's one of the more important
I mean,
stats.
we had 10 tonight. The Lions had 5.
Yeah, we had 10 for 67 yards. They had 5 for 51, which didn't they have 2 for 30 on one play? Am I thinking
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
That's just wild to think about, right? So if you were to take those 2 for 30 off, which obviously those are personal fouls, right? So when you're just talking about kind of between the lines type, penalties, false starts, holds, things like that. It's the pre-snap penalties that get me because like Matt was just saying, when you're going to snap the ball. Like how the hell are we jumping? What is going on here, right?
Yep.
So, and again, we love to,
and it happens on third downs too, Clay. It happened like Sean Ryan. That was a third and what was it? A 3rd and 3. Went to a 3rd and 8, and then we missed the pass, and we go for a delay game, try to get him to jump on 4th and punt it. Like that, it's a drive killer.
Yep, and you remember the Carl Brooks encroachment, right?
Yep.
Like when they got us to jump on 4th down.
No, that was TJ. That was TJ Slayton. But yeah. I'm pretty sure it was TJ. I could have swore. I think they said Carl Brooks on the air, but I could have swore it was TJ when he punched him. I get where he's doing, the big head lift, but a lot of centers do that. They're just baiting you on that 4th, and it would have been a lot easier at 4th and 6.
And they read the rules verbatim right there on the air, and to me it looked like a smooth play. It wasn't like he,
it wasn't a snap. Right? Yeah, he came up. It was he used his whole body at least. It wasn't just a head snap.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so let's do this. Let's go to the chat real quick and see how everybody feels in there. I'm sure it's not going to be all sunshine and rainbows, but 2-0 for this says lots of season left, and we have a much better record than we had this time last year. It's a very good point. Going into the bye, you're 6-3. Listen, one thing I'm not going to do on this postgame show is pretend like all of a sudden everyone's disappointed we lost the game as if we were supposed to win the game. Right? I mean, everyone picked the Packers to lose. The tough part is that pick 6. If you don't have the pick 6, you don't have the penalties you're talking about.
Take that pick 6 away. It's already down to 17-14.
Yeah, you got a chance to win this freaking ball game, and it just feels like it slipped away. And I think that's what people were saying kind of in the chat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But 24-14, you lose by 10 points there at home in a monsoon. I just don't understand the first down passing with it raining like that. And I know the drops were an issue, guys. I mean, this is one of the youngest teams in the league, right? We talk about it all the time. And when you're talking, why don't more teams have younger teams? Let me put it this way. Why isn't everybody going younger? Because lack of discipline, right? And lack of execution. That's the main reason. Now, when you try to go too old, like the Jets have, obviously that's going to bite you in the ass too, right? Like you're gonna end up to a point where you're like, holy cow, everybody hit the wall at the same time. So you want that happy balance, or that happy medium rather. But as far as the drops, we're pretending like it wasn't a monsoon. Now, the argument that comes into play, people say, well, the Lions didn't have a problem with it. Touche. They did not, right? They had no problem catching the ball at all. It seemed like it. I don't know how many drops there actually was for them. But I know this. You held one of the highest scoring offenses, and actually the highest scoring offense in the league, points per play, to 17 points, right, as a defense. Yeah. So, there you go. Now, they were playing in a monsoon too, obviously. So, it's just one of those things. You almost have to throw the game out from a statistical standpoint when you're looking at rankings and that type of thing, just because nobody is in their actual game plan, right? So, but yeah, I like what 2-0 for this said here. I think that's a fair point. Let's go on to Respect Oranges. I was mentally prepared for this game. That kind of describes me, Amelia. I'm going in going, all right, look, let's just keep it. Let's keep this thing respectful. Let's see if we can somehow pull out a win. And
we were there. We were there until that pick 6. And I'm not, Jordan's trying to do something. I get it, because you're not mad at the play that happened before that where we gained 13 yards, whatever it was, first down, and we're moving. Tried to hurry up, got outside. He was moving decent. I know he kind of came up hobbled at the end and kind of at the end of the second and stuff, but he was performing decent. Bad decisions were made, yes. And at least it happened now in week 9 or whatever this, what is it, week 9, right?
Yeah.
So at least it happened now and not week 18 going into a playoff berth or whatever it needs to be. So that it's going to be a good mental note game. Put it in the back of your head. Made these mistakes before. Let's not make them again, kind of thing.
Yeah. And you keep marking chats if you see any in there. I mean,
Yeah.
just grab them. All right. Eric Sutherland says, let me tell you something, boys. Eric Sutherland's on one tonight.
He's on a heater. Oh, for sure.
He's on a heater. Missed field goals, stupid penalties, horrible play call. Wide receivers all look like MVS. MVS is like, why do you say F me for? All look like MVS. Love making one horrible decision after another. This team is a joke. I respectfully disagree with this team as a joke, but hey, Eric, man, understand your frustration. Greg Rice says, to me, it all starts with the penalties, and that's kind of where you're at, right, Emilio? It's like you got to get out of your own way, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's been a problem all year. It's the issue. We need to be running some pyramids or something after practice. If we keep having these, sit down there, wait for the snap count kind of stuff. Just get out of that habit. Whatever it is that's making you mentally snap there and jump. We just need to keep those at an absolute minimum.
Yeah. Respect Oranges says, I can see it get turned around. Just make the playoffs. That's it, man. You just got to stamp your ticket into the playoffs, and anything can happen, right? Anybody can get hot. Greg Rice says, in my opinion, 10 shouldn't have played, but what does that do to his confidence? ? Yeah, for me, you guys know how I felt all week. If he's not 100%, don't play him. Let's get into the bye. Now,
give him a percentage, Clay, if you got one. What did you think he was at?
Listen, that's the tough part. I didn't notice any injury issues for the first half for the most part. And then he had that one play where he rolled left and all of a sudden he's limped
where
up.
He threw that deep ball to Reed right at the end of the second.
Right. And I was like, oh, crap, he's hurting. Like, get him out of there. I actually put a tweet out that said, is it time? And put the Willie Beeman tweet that I keep quote tweeting, right? Because it's like, okay, if he can't, let's don't trash his freaking, body out here in a rain game right before the bye when we could get that extra week of rest. And who knows, Malik may come in and catch fire and win the game. But then in the second half, I didn't notice anything. Did you? Did you notice any limping at all in the second half, or is it just
not really? No, he was. I mean, he's not moving particularly fast, but he's not limping. And so, he might not be. I mean, maybe he's at 95%, and that's good to go. But maybe he doesn't have that pull away speed that he normally does.
Yeah.
I was only mad at a couple. I was mad at maybe 3 to 5 plays of Love. Really, I mean, he played a decent game besides that.
Yeah, and there was some balls that sailed on him and things like that.
Yeah,
and,
yep.
But
Christian Watson, not mad at him. Misjudged the jump, maybe the rain, the wind gusts, all that stuff.
Now listen, if you remove the rain, that looks ugly.
Yeah, right. Oh, definitely.
But it was piss pouring, and the wind was. Well, they put a wind advisory out too, so they might have gusts like 40 to 50 mile an hour, whatever it was. Yep. So, and that's why the kick too. Like Justin, shout out to Justin. He's probably ready to throw his lunchbox out the window.
Oh, definitely.
On the way to, we got to create a Photoshop of that too, by the way. But he texted me and was like, "There it is when McManus missed the field goal," and I know Justin knows this, but I just want to say, like, he's not going to make every kick. It's not going to happen, right? I didn't like the decision for them to kick the 46-yarder. How did you feel about it, Emilio? Because it's like in the rain there, I would rather you go for it or let Daniel Whelan just a little pooch punt, pin them deep there. What do you think?
Yeah, and we talk about it all the time. That's a turnover, right? That's why you're not 100% about taking that kick. McManus kept true to his word after he missed that one. He banged the next one, but I think it is a tough go. That was, correct me, that's when Reed caught, or not Reed. That's when Amon-Ra had, or I'm sorry, Branch had the helmet to helmet, right? Was that not that drive? Okay.
No, I don't know if it was or not, Emilio.
If it was, that's something we need points out of. That is a drive killer, but it's tough kick on the 46 when we've kind of gone for it in that range earlier in the game.
Yeah, for sure. We got Love at the podium. Let's see what he's got to say real quick, and then we'll get right back.
Here's the guy. Definitely something I have to clean up, and I've talked about it week after week. So somewhere I just got to learn from these mistakes and clean it up. But definitely something.
Oh, that's even better right there.
To do when you got a big arm, you can make big plays. We've seen it all season, right? You want to make the big play. Is it difficult to keep in mind? Okay, just live. It's not there. Live for the next play when you can make a big play.
No, I mean it just comes down to playing the position at a high level, sticking to my training, sticking to the reads, like I said, and just being great with those fundamentals. And obviously the big plays will happen, not trying to force things. But like I said, just getting back to staying true with my reads and being real disciplined and making great decisions with the ball.
Matt was saying that, the cadences and all that should be an advantage for you, but there are way too many false starts. How do you get that back to being an advantage for you guys?
Yeah, it's it's something that we got to clean up, and it just comes down to staying disciplined in the game, hearing the cadence in the huddle, and just getting off on time and just being locked in and not just having those lapses in focus where we have those penalties. So it's definitely another area that has been hurting us on offense that we got to clean up.
The 3rd and 1 pass to Wicks in the 4th quarter. Was that thrown behind him, or did you expect him to sit down on that one?
What play was that? Sorry.
One at the
one
9.
in the end zone. It was definitely a little bit behind him, but I think that's a play that he can make, and I think he knows he can make it. Obviously, I can do a better job getting the ball out in front of him, putting right on him.
During the attitude into the bye week, both personally and for the team at 6-3, knowing when you come back, you have the full run in.
Yeah, I mean, the attitude is just, come back, get into the film room tomorrow. Same mindset as every week is, look at the tape, figure out what we did good, figure out what we did bad, find out the stuff we got to clean up, and just keep attacking every week once we get back from the bye week. But, like I said, obviously a disappointing game, been a couple of disappointing losses, but we are still a really good football team. And, I think some of the stuff is more self-inflicted, the mistakes and the penalties and the turnovers, all stuff that we can clean up. So, like I said before, we haven't played our best game. So a lot of football left in front of us when we come back from the bye week. So just hit the ground running when we get back.
All right, there's QB1. I know Emilio has to step away. He'll be right back. So, yeah. And listen, I understand. I know there's people in there going, I'm so tired of hearing about things need to get cleaned up. I mean, it's obvious these guys have been coached on what to say with certain questions, and they're going to continue to do it, man. It's just the way it is. That's that coach speak we talk about after a tough loss. I'd rather him say that than come out there and go, yeah, Christian Watson got to judge that ball better. Elton Jenkins got to snap the ball better. Like, come on. We would all be calling him Aaron Rodgers if that happened, right? You know how that goes. So, Godsmack AR69 with the super chat. Thank you so much, buddy. He says, hats off to the Lions. They're the best team in the NFL. Look at the bright side. If the Lions win the Super Bowl, the Vikings will be the only team in the North without a Lombardi laughing emoji. I like the optimism there, Godsmack. Let's put it right back on the Vikings. And listen, the Bears got absolutely boat raced by a really bad Arizona Cardinals team today. So that was a lot of fun to see as well. But thank you for the super chat, pal. We appreciate you. Let's see here. Jay in the chat says, just pathetic. We are in it. Then the pick six. It was the Lions game after that. I got to agree, man. The pick six is really when I was just like, ugh. And I talked myself into it in the second half, like, all right, come on, let's just show some fight. You start showing some fight, and it's like, hey, maybe we can pull this off, right? Obviously, by halfway through the fourth quarter, you just knew it wasn't going to happen. But pick six was the killer. That was definitely the story of the day. Venom Slash, so many opportunities to score. Amen. Amen to that. 2-0 for this. All credit to the Lions, but we lost to ourselves for sure, and that continues to be a massive problem. It is a massive problem, 2-0 for this, but also, I don't know, Amelia, I feel like it keeps me optimistic too. Like, man, if you don't beat yourself, probably I mean, what they showed me today without the pick six is you went toe-to-toe with I think the best team in the league. I personally think if you line the Lions and the Chiefs up, Lions are probably going to beat the Chiefs. They just seem like a tougher football team.
Mm-hmm.
Now you got Pat Mahomes over there. I got you. But the Chiefs are undefeated. I understand that. But yeah, I'm not coming away from this game going the Packers suck. I'm just not.
No, yeah, me either.
We can compete with anybody.
I don't think you can coming out of the game. It really was in it until the pick, and coming out of half, you didn't quit right out the gate. And you didn't even quit till the end there. We kept pushing. There was mistakes even in the second half, just like there was in the first, and it just compounded. We weren't able to dig ourselves out of it. At some point, you did everything you could, and they get paid too. It just sucks that it happened at Lambeau at home.
Yeah, That's the tough part for sure.
Right.
Nick McSwain, been a member for 8 months now here at the PTA Posse on YouTube. Appreciate you, buddy. He said, I like the O-line play minus the penalties and the bad snaps. You know, it's a good point. You didn't feel like Love was getting like killed out there, right? But the penalties and the bad snaps, my goodness, man, it was definitely one of the stories.
And we got to remember, right? It was Elton Jenkins. I know they said Monk at the beginning, but it was Elton, and we had Sean Ryan stick at right guard and had Jordan Morgan move to left guard, which I was going to get your take on that and Tim's as well. Appreciate you making it back, Tim. How do we think Jordan Morgan played coming up on that left guard there when we haven't seen him there all year?
I thought of Tim as soon as it happened, because pre-game when they were talking about, because I'm like, this is what Tim was talking about. Left would make more sense than the right. Yep. I got to be real though, honest. I didn't pay much attention to it during the game. I just agree with you that I didn't feel like Love was being pressured too much, But
no,
Tim, go ahead, mate. I'm sorry.
I was just saying, I felt like they wanted to run the ball a little bit more behind the left side. And who was that false start on with Sean Ryan at the right guard position? That's a drive killer.
He had 2 penalties, didn't he? A hold and a false start.
I think he did.
Tim, I know you're battling pneumonia right now, getting in out of the rain, buddy. Appreciate you hopping on with us, man. We're just going through the chat, hanging out, talking about what happened, why did it happen, all that stuff. And again, shout out to who was that again? Nick McSwain. Thank you for being a member, buddy.
Yeah.
No, you're good. You're good. Tim, what's your initial thoughts, takeaways from the stands? And I know it's hard to kind of focus on everything that's happening when you're there in the stadium. I take away the least amount of information when I'm watching a ball game live in the stadium than I do on TV. But what did it feel like there at Lambeau? Because here's the thing: it's an ugly loss. You hate to see the pick six, but without the pick six, you're taking one of, if not the best teams in the league to the wire for 3 points, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We didn't get boat raced at the end of the day. I mean, after that first quarter, though, it didn't really feel like we were in it.
Right.
And I'm going to be honest, guys, like burn these 50s throwbacks, burn these uniforms, never wear them again.
They look so damn good, Tim.
Yeah, and that's all I hear. They look so good getting their asses kicked in these uniforms like they always do. I said it when they brought them out. I mean, the 50s were the dark ages for the Packers. I mean, it's like it's bad karma to even want to go back to that era. And I think maybe they've won one time when they've worn these uniforms, I think, since it started. More of the same though from this team. I don't feel like Detroit played exceptionally well. I feel like we just kept shooting ourselves in the foot. I mean, number one Packer fan hit it on the head. That was the vibe in the stands for sure. And it's just tough, man. I'm so sick of these Lions fans coming into Lambeau and taking over. It wasn't quite as bad as last year. I was there for Thursday Night Football last year when they absolutely took over the stadium. Today wasn't quite as bad, but there were a lot of mistakes that could have been avoided and some that couldn't have. We had a couple of sloppy plays. It's wet out there. It was tough to secure that football, and you could tell Jordan Love was not 100%. And, it was just tough. It was real tough. I'll have to go back and watch some tape, watch the All-22 on this because, again, Section 111, that was my view. When, like you said, Clayton, man, when you're in the trenches, it's a little tougher to see everything that you want to see when you're able to watch it on TV. Yeah. But tough loss today.
Yeah, and this may sound like a silly question. Emilio asked me, and I skirted the question. But so what percentage do you think Love was? I mean, to me, it was kind of strange because early on he looked healthy, and then you had that one play where he came up limp, and it's like that's the first time I noticed. Oh man, he's not in good shape here. But then in the second half, I don't know if he got a shot or what, but he came out in the second half and he looked. I didn't notice any other limp. But what do you think? Do you think he was 90, 95? What do you think there, man?
At best, yeah, somewhere there, 85 maybe. There was a lot of throws that looked like he just didn't have any legs underneath them when he was throwing it, and they were kind of fluttering. We saw a couple really good balls today from Jordan, but most of them they looked a little flat. And I don't know if that's because he couldn't step into them or what, but we never got comfortable at all today on offense, not once at all. And, I really thought we were going to put a little bit more emphasis on trying to run the ball. I felt like early on we made an effort to do that. And then we, like we always do, we get away from it. too fast. But yeah, man, I don't know. I don't think Jordan. I definitely don't think it's up for debate. He definitely wasn't 100%. I don't think that's the secret, and I think that Lions team knew it. They got a little dirty there in the second half. Trying to give Jordan the old ankle twist there,
bro,
after the play, and
yeah,
that was
like
crazy.
honestly, zero respect for the way that those guys went after him like that. That's dirty. That's not playing hard.
that was
I'll respect an opponent if they want to play hard, but trying to get a guy hurt, not cool. Not with it.
number 41, Houston the fourth, I believe that was.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I know this. I'm not the one that roots on injuries and stuff. I'm not that guy. But when I seen that on Twitter, because I didn't notice it in real time, I'm like, somebody better get a shot on Goff. Like, I'm from the school of, especially in baseball, oh, you want to throw up and in? Duke can play at that game. You
Right.
throw up and in, you're getting ear hole when your pitcher comes up the bat in high school. That's just the way it was. Like, It was that really did that bothered me, because it wasn't just like, is he down yet? Is he down yet? He's on the ground, and old dude rolls over and puts pressure with his shoulder. He's trying to twist his freaking ankle.
Yep.
Yeah, James Houston, edge number 41 with a 34 PFF grade, coming in trying to just absolutely. And you saw Jordan try to flip out of it. He tried to roll his body quick the other way to not put the strain on the knee or the ankle.
Yep.
Yeah, my man did the gator roll for sure. Elder Grimm with the super chat. If Jones gets 25 carries this game, we would have won. Listen, nobody complained more than me about them getting away from the run. It really did feel like that.
And by Jones, he means Jacobs, correct?
Jacobs, right? Correct.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering
Or
too.
does he mean Jones? If it was Jones,
That's what I'm wondering, if he's saying, remember this with Aaron Jones? We were all saying that over and over and over. So, Elder Grimm, I can't disagree with you there, man. Almost 9 yards of carry, and all of a sudden we just start throwing on first down. I'm like, what the hell are we doing, man? What are we doing? But yeah, appreciate the super chat, Elder Grimm. TC fan with the super chat. LaFleur is a good schemer. Still not sure if he's an elite play caller. I'm old enough to remember when it was Aaron Rodgers' fault that we abandoned the run. See, now, listen, the first half of that, TC fan, I was going to go, nope, I respectfully disagree. But that second half, I remember that too. It was always Aaron's changing the play. Aaron's won't run what he wants to. It's 2 playbooks, blah, blah, blah. So It's obvious that Matt LaFleur wants to be an aggressive play caller, right? He wants to throw on first down. First down is the best down to throw on. The problem is, if you don't hit, you're killing that drive, right? You're behind the sticks, and it is what it is. Like the missed field goal drive, Emilio, I'm pretty sure you were right. But the first play of that drive, first down incompletion, got behind the sticks. If it hadn't been for the penalties, they would have never even been down in field goal range, because they started that way. And it ended up, it's like, I remember thinking, first down incompletion, they're going to score on this drive because those penalties, they got bailed out, right? And then lo and behold, the football gods said, no, that's going wide left. Don't worry about it. You shouldn't have threw on first down. So TC,
there's the unseen turnover.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you for the super chat, TC fan. Appreciate you, buddy. Godsmack AR69 with the super chat. They have to do something about the wet fart pre-snap penalties. I'm sorry. Don't care to see Big E playing center again, even considering the weather. When Zach Tom gets a false start, it's not our day. Yeah, man, that's wild to think of Zach Tom getting the false start.
Were you mad at Elton? Were you mad at Elton at center?
Bro, it's just, and here's the thing, in some of those plays like Tom Brady, I thought Tom Brady caught a hell of a game. I don't know about you guys. He started off shaky, right, when he first started calling. I feel like he's gotten a lot better. But when he started pointing out the snap, being low, it was just like, and it was always low and to the left. And once again, if your quarterback don't have a bad knee, not as big of an issue. But I like what Brady said too. Like, sooner or later, you realize your center, that ball is soaking wet. I mean, soaking wet.
Yep.
Sooner, you got to realize that and kind of go to that shortstop stance, right? And try to be ready to field that thing. So I said it in the pregame, if you're going to have anybody other than your normal center out there to snap the ball, I want it to be Elton Jenkins. But we can't deny the fact that the rain gave him a hard time with the snaps, for sure.
You know what kind of upset me about the snaps was the fact that we were churning in the first quarter, first drive or second drive in pistol, and then we got away from it the rest of the game. Like, I don't even know if we went back to it. The first 15, even if Matt does or doesn't script them, was basically 80% pistol, and Jordan looked comfortable out of it. He was able to turn and hand it off, get rid of it, and it was a shorter snap for Ellen. less work on the guards, all that kind of stuff. Just tough. Sucks that we got away from that.
Yeah, I agree. All right, guys, Mac, thank you for the super chat, and also the pre-snap penalties. Listen, I can handle between the whistles penalties. That's going to happen. You're playing aggressive, but the false starts is just, man. Tim, what do you think? Like being in the stadium, and I think I know the answer to this question, but I want to respect the fact that you were there. Was the crowd loud on first down or was the crowd loud when the Packers had the ball?
Not on offense, no. So
what is causing these damn false? What's causing these false? I'm trying to bail them out here, but what's causing the false starts, man?
I don't know, but I think there's some cause for concern there. Like, yeah, we gave Josh Myers a lot of heat, but the minute this guy's not our center, we got issues on that O-line.
Hey,
and
they
had a week of install. We knew Josh wasn't going to play. So this wasn't like we found out yesterday or something. Right. I don't know. You can blame the wet ball and the elements, but Detroit played on the same field we did. They didn't have any botched snaps. So I think the false starts, we talked about this last week leading up to this game, right? You play musical chairs on that O-line, you're going to have some inconsistencies. It's just
very good point.
Simple fact, and Detroit was getting after it. Their defense was playing hard all day.
Yeah. 2 over this says, if it makes you feel any better, we lost by 10 to a much better team than the Bears lost to by 20. So obviously the Bears got boat raced by the Cardinals, which was fun to watch. I had it in the upper left on the screen here while I was charting the game. It was a lot of fun to see them. And by the way, Arizona Cardinals opened the roof and it piss poured the rain. What are we doing?
All part of the plan.
Yeah, I guess. But maybe it was. Was. Greg Rice in the chat says, anyone want anything from the grocery store? I'm going to be there for food. I'm going there for food is what he said. So.
Yeah, I'll take bourbon. Lots of bourbon.
Yes.
Already on it, Tim.
Last night at this wedding, was it last? Yeah, it was last night. We went to a wedding in Highlands, North Carolina, and somebody made a fall mash.
Ooh,
bro! It was like there was cranberries in it. There was whiskey. There was all kinds of. There was like 7 different ingredients, bro. That stuff. I just pulled my chair. I didn't even eat with everybody. I just pulled my chair over next to the drink dispenser. You know what I'm saying?
Man, you drove home, definitely.
Oh no, well, yeah, yes she did. Yes, she did, Amelia. She drove home. But anyway, that was the first time I've ever had a fall mash, I think is what they called it. So anyway, 2-0 for this says, I blame Tim for that game. Tim, bud, let's stop going to the Lions games, bro.
I'll take it. They've never beat Detroit as long as I've gone to games. So this will probably be my last one for a while. I'll take it. It's on me. Put it on me.
I got to shoulder some of the blame too, because Mandy came up here and said, what the hell? I wore my Lucky Packers shirt too. And I wore the same hoodie 4 weeks in a row, and we won all 4 games. Today, I switched it up.
Oh, Clayton.
She went, shut the door and walked downstairs.
She was so disappointed in you.
So disappointed. So
I even had my lucky socks on. Look, I had my lucky socks on, and it didn't work.
They stayed warm, Tim. Was it cold?
Oh, man.
Tough one out there. So if anybody who's jumping in here joining us right now, I appreciate y'all hanging out with us as the Packers drop a tough one there.
How many times are going to come to my press conference late?
It's 24-14. The Packers dropped this one to the Lions. Let's stay with the chat here. Respect Oranges wasn't paying too much attention at the end. Jacobs hurt, ? He left on my chart. It showed he left in the first play of the third quarter.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't notice him back in the game till the fourth quarter. Now, he could have been in. I don't know. But he finished the first half with 10 carries for 89 yards. He ends up finishing the game with 13 carries for 95 yards.
Yeah. Over 100 total, right? He had, 13, 15 yards receiving?
Yep. He finished 13 carries for 95 yards. And then did he have – he had 2 catches for 13 yards. So he broke 100. So it's just that rushing, man, is just – it's eating me up. It's almost – it really felt like the Lions were like, even though it's raining, they won't stick with the run. It kind of felt like that. Like they were just waiting for Matt to get away from the run. So Respect Oranges, to answer your question, he was healthy enough to finish the game. They put him in on that 4th and 1 where he got stuffed. But there's something going on there for sure. He limped off the field there in the third quarter. Eldergrim says, I still stand by that Willis would have been the better option with Love hurt. We talked about it all week. It was kind of if it had been up to me, that was what I wanted. But you also thought, okay, Love must be 100% if they're going to put him out there in the rain like that. Obviously, at certain points in the game, he at least wasn't 100%. But do I think the Packers would have won if Malik Willis played? I'm not going to say that. Now, the fact that Malik Willis hasn't thrown an interception this year, if he doesn't throw that pick six, we got a much better shot at winning that ball game, right? That's the reality there for sure. So, Nick McSwain, yeah, we're 6-3, LOL. So, I don't know what that was in reference to, but Holmes in the chat says, my problem is the lack of discipline and execution. You can't commit 10 penalties plus and expect to beat a good team. That you can't commit 10 penalties plus and expect to beat a bad team, to be honest with you. It's just really, really hard in this league for sure. I like United Bates. He said, EXLAX.
X-Lax.
Love it. 2-0 for this. If Watson didn't stop on that deep shot, it would have been a touchdown. I agree. He obviously misjudged it, but man, it was a lot of rain and wind. Tim, how windy was it, Tim? Was it as windy as they said?
You know, it was weird because like we were probably, I want to say, I think we're like row 7 or something, row 6. It didn't feel too bad in the stands, but then I would look down at the field and you could see it kind of swirling. You could see the officials like rain jackets kind of flapping in the wind. So I think down on the field it was swirling. So it made it a little interesting along with the rain. And the rain definitely picked up in the second half. It wasn't too bad early on, but man, once we came out of halftime, it was coming down.
Got it. All right. You know, sometimes you see it on the TV and you wonder what it's actually like in the stands. And I know what you mean too. I've been at games where you see the flags on the goalposts just, flopping around, and then you in the stands, you don't even hardly feel it. So let's see. Your number one Packer fan. Offensive line is the most undisciplined unit I've seen in Green Bay in a long time. I don't understand at this point in the season how that still is a problem. I believe the O-line coach needs to go. The thing about Coach Butkus, Steno's the OC. Steno was the old offensive line coach, obviously. So he's got a lot of say there too. A lot of as far as preparation, things like that. But I have never been like overly excited about Coach Butkus, if that makes sense. Like, you look around the league and you look at the grades and you see, you see the missed blocks in the running game. And it seems like the running backs are always bailing the offensive lineman out. But if there's one thing that Coach Butkus does, he's a hell of a pass blocking coach, right? I mean, the Packers always have a top 5, top 3 pass blocking offensive lines. So you got to kind of take the good with the bad there. Deadfish says, not upset about starting Love, but when we were down 24-3 in the third quarter, I would have put Malik in. Don't risk further injury to Love, and you don't know what Malik would do on a slick field. Yeah, that's a good point. Him out there making guys miss. I don't know, Tim, what did you think, man? Being in the stadium, did you feel like do you feel like they made a mistake starting Love, or do you think no, not really? No,
I don't think it was a mistake to start Jordan. I mean, we just put $75 million in his bank account. There's a reason, or two to start the guy. He's clearly the future of our franchise at the quarterback position, and if he's cleared and says he can go and feels like he can play, then you gotta trot him out there. Absolutely. Now, the thought of maybe bringing Malik in there in the third quarter, I don't know. I don't really have an argument against it. But I don't necessarily think that would have miraculously turned things around. Clearly, like we talked about last week, this defense looked different without Evan Williams and without Jair Alexander out there. For as much freelancing as Ja has done in the past, and we talk about him kind of, either overwhelming or underwhelming us from time to time, it looked different, man. We get Stokes out there and Bull was back there at the safety, and it just looked different defensively. Playing hard, but it just seemed like Detroit was able to do whatever they wanted with the ball today.
What's crazy too is, and granted, it was a monsoon. They only scored 17 points. That's what's wild. And then you're talking about the team that leads the league in points per play. And that's what I was saying right before you jumped on. I was telling Emilio's like, do you just throw this whole thing out and say, well, you can't really take that into effect because or take that into account because the rain was so bad that both teams were going to, kind of stutter on offense. But the big thing for me was Quay. Like he led the league in led the team in tackles, I'm pretty sure. But man, there was 3 times I've got charted where he was just, it was bad, man. It was so bad. And it's like, you're talking about Jair not being out there. You felt different. To me, it felt different with Quay being out there. And then Edgerrin Cooper comes in. They had, to the best of my knowledge, their first nickel set, they had Quay and Isaiah McDuffie on the field. Right. Yeah. And then they go right down the field, right, and just start, moving the ball, it seemed like. Yeah. And then all of a sudden you see Edgerrin Cooper come in, a couple flash plays, bang. And then all of a sudden Edgerrin Cooper's out of the game, seeing Quay, just hesitant they ran I think it was like a will fire, and Quay's responsibility was to the flat. And it was just like he was just kind of taking his time, almost like, well, let me make sure they throw it. Get on your damn horse and go make the tackle. Like and the tackles, you look at the tackle count and you go, oh, man, he led the team in tackles. Bro, he's making those tackles 8-9 yards down the field.
Right.
It's tough, man. It's just so tough. But, so I kind of felt like that was one of the differences. Rel says ball snap fumbled, almost 5 times. I can't remember how many. Emilio, you remember how many?
Yeah, at least 3.
Yeah, I was going to say at least 3.
Yeah, so somewhere 3 to 5. Something
out of hand is what it was. But again, out in the rain, all that stuff, no excuse. But we got to get it done. Upset we got away from Pistol.
Yeah,
you're not going to live that one down, right?
It was there. It was there. The snap shorter. You got a 2-way go for Josh Jacobs. He literally had basically 100 yards in the first half running Pistol, and then we just get away from it and don't give him the ball again, basically.
Yep.
Yeah, there you go. So Jordan finished the day 23 of 39 for 273 and an interception. He was sacked 0 times. Josh Jacobs had 13 carries for 95 yards, no touchdowns, but had a long of 37. Emmanuel Wilson, for the people that are saying, well, Josh Jacobs went out of the game, that's why they got away from the running game. He was averaging 7 yards a carry, 4 carries for 28 yards and a touchdown. Chris Brooks, 2 carries for 13 yards, which, by the way, he looked pretty damn good in the passing game. You guys agree? Like, he looks like he's going to be an asset to this team. Chris Brooks.
We saw that today for sure.
Yeah, he had that one bobble, and then besides that, I think he played a pretty sound game in the passing game.
Tucker Kraft with that QB sneak. Let's go, dude.
Beautiful.
Let's go. Love
Dial it
I
up.
saw. Remember, you saw Matt flip the playbook over. He's like, "All right, let's run the Kraft push.
Let's run Kraft mac and cheese right here.
Yeah.
Let's go." Elder Grimm, sponsor the show. Elder Grimm in the chat says people act surprised by nearly leading the league in drops when nearly all the receivers had big drops issues coming out of college. There's some of these guys that were drafted late, and like Romeo Dobbs, which is crazy because Romeo Dobbs has some of the best hands in the league now. Like that dude made a couple catches today with that ball getting away.
That one catch, he palmed that thing and just put it in.
Sick. Yeah.
That is the example of you can outwork that problem.
Yep.
You can come out of college with bad hands and outwork it. Now, the problem, Dontavion Wicks is still not there. Listen, if you want to say the throw was off from Love, I completely agree. There were bad throws too. They were behind Wicks, this and that. But if it hits you in the hands, you got to catch it.
That's exactly what I said in the stands. It was that Tutter was behind him on the hip, but you had 2 hands there, man. You got to snag that football.
Got to
trap it on your hip if you have to. Whatever you got to do to make the catch. He was open, but I don't think Jordan missed that throw that badly that it could be caught. Yeah,
no, I would have liked to see a few more hands catch. I know Brady was talking about, sometimes you got to use the chest catch, but you saw it early with Tucker. It went right through his hands, right to the chest, and then it happened 3-4 more times probably. Just need to stick him out there, like stick him, grab that thing, pull it in.
Yep.
Yeah. Daryl in the chat says it's all good though. They finally lost after being on a 4 or 5 game winning streak. Again, this is like anyone who. There was no one in the pregame that's going, Packers going to win this game. You watch. Like everybody was like, man, we got a shot, but it is what it is.
No, that was me talking crap all week saying that we were going to win. I was the one who actually believed they were going to win.
Tim.
Yeah, that was me.
Someone's got to put their foot down, Tim. I'm glad you did
it. Godsmack with the super chat says, where the hell are the defensive turnovers in this game? And why does Jair only seem to miss the big game like Minnesota and today? So frustrating. Also, yes, I am done with the first round Quay bust. Appreciate the super chat, man. I'll say this about Jair. I heard a stat pregame, blew me away. During the pregame show, someone put in there that in the last 32 games, Jair has only played in 16. He's played in 50% of the games in the last 2 years. That blew. I was just like, that can't be right. Sure enough, chats came in, confirmed it. It's like, holy cow, man. So as far as that missing only the big games, I'm not going to BS anybody. I said the same thing pregame. Like, why is it every time we're facing it like a team, like we got to win this game, he's hurt? And I'm not saying he's faking it. We know that. It's just bad luck, but it's just like, damn it, can we please get one of, if not our best defensive players on the field in the most important games? It's bad luck. I don't know. But again, thank you for the super chat, guys, man. Appreciate you, man. Holmes in the chat, fumbled handoffs, boneheaded penalties. Stokes looks lost. 1 sack against a statue. What do you call it? The eye roll emoji. Is that what that is, Amelia?
Yeah.
Do it again, Amelia. You did good there. We got to screen grab that. Can't make this stuff up. Yeah, you had Rashawn Gary, I think, had the sack, right? Which there was a 2-play sequence. He got the second down run stuff, and then the third down sack he split with Aaron Mosby there. So yeah, Gary had a half sack, Mosby had a half sack. That's how that shook out there on defense. But yeah, it's weird. You get going, and I think you were kind of talking about this, Amelia. They get going on offense. Yeah. And then all of a sudden it was 2 or 3 plays in a row, bad snap, bad snap, bad snap. It's like, what the heck? What just happened?
That's that penalty, Yeah.
And like Brady pointed out, when you go no huddle, though, you go hurry up, the officials can't wipe that ball off as well, right? So it's like ball does stay slick. But again, Jared Goff had no problem really throwing the football.
2 gloves. 2 gloves.
Yeah. I'm looking at that too with those gloves. And I got to be real with you. Tom Brady wore a glove, right? To help handle the ball and everything. Kurt Warner, first ballot Hall of Famer, wore gloves. I'm like, why don't more quarterbacks wear gloves? I wonder why.
Big Ben used to put the glove on too in Pittsburgh whenever it would get slipped. Yep.
Right.
It just does nothing for the swag, though. It doesn't look good. It looked all right with, I guess, Goff, because he just went all white sleeves and everything, just tried to hide it. But man, it just messes up that kind of flow.
I can tell you that I saw nearly every time Detroit's defense was on the field, Jared Goff was on the sideline throwing the football. Like that's what he was doing every single time he saw a third down. We were facing third down. He was up, getting loose, throwing the ball. During TV timeouts, he was throwing the ball constantly, constantly working on his grip, constantly throwing the ball. And he stayed loose all day, and it showed.
Looked like Malik out there on the sideline, man. Tim, he was humming that thing around too. Every time the camera panned to him, Malik was throwing the ball, even when Jordan went out there.
Yep. Trying to stay ready. That's all you can do, But yeah, I mean, kudos to Detroit, man, because they pounded that run, and then the minute we tried to key in on that run, or we tried to soften up a little bit, throw that underneath, it was open over the middle all day, just chipping away at us, and it was just tough for them to get back in the game, Yeah,
definitely. Let's do this. Let's go around the league real quick. Is that cool with you guys? Kind of see what happened today. Obviously, the Colts and the Vikings just kicked off. It's 0-0 in the first quarter. The final with the Jaguars and the Eagles. The Eagles defeat the Jaguars 28-23. I'm trying to think. These are that was the records coming in, right? Or was it not? Let me see here real quick.
No, that's the record now. That was supposed to be the Sunday night game too. That got flexed out.
Is that right?
Jaguars Eagles was supposed to be the Sunday night game.
Okay, so these are the updated records. So the Eagles improved to 6-2 on the year. You had the Cardinals. Remember when we beat the Cardinals?
Yep.
It was all the Cardinals are a horrible football team, right? Remember the Bears fans that week? Oh, but they're bad.
Yeah.
Well, the Arizona Cardinals beat the Chicago Bears 29-9 today.
Did you see him take it to the crib on the what was it, like 3rd and 11? It was 40 seconds left in the second. Just run a 50-yard draw. Like, unbelievable.
The Bears still suck.
Exactly.
And Caleb Williams was 22 of 41 for 217. He was sacked 6 times.
Wow, cooking. Absolutely on fire back there.
Absolutely cooking. All right, so
here's the guy
for whatever reason, For whatever reason, the scores just shuffled around, so we'll just start where it picks up here. I don't know why that happened. So the Falcons beat the Cowboys 27-21. Boys, Jerry Jones. Let me tell you, Jerry Jones not happy today.
Jerry needs to go ahead and just hire him a GM. That's what he's going to have to do.
I'm going to have to listen to that call-in this week, Clay. See what they talk
boy,
about.
it's going to be must-hear.
Yeah, that's going to be must-see TV.
That might be tomorrow's show. Since we don't have a Victory Monday, we just might broadcast that live. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. But so, again, the Cowboys drop a tough one there, 27-21 to the Falcons in Atlanta. The Cowboys are now 3-5 on the year. The Falcons improved to 6-3. Up next, the Buffalo Bills defeat the Miami Dolphins in what might have been the game of the week, to be honest with you. The Bills improved to 7-2. They win 30-27 over the Dolphins, who now fall to 2-6. We've got the Bengals over the Raiders, 41-24. Bengals improved to 4-5. The Raiders now drop to 2-7. The LA Chargers beat the Cleveland Browns 27-10. The Chargers are now 5-3. The Browns dropped to 2-7. The Titans and the Patriots, boy, let me tell you, that was a tulip bowl today. The Titans won 20-17 over the Patriots. They improved to 2-6. The Patriots dropped to 2-7. And then we had the Washington Commanders defeating the New York Giants 27-22. They improved to 7-2 with Jaden Daniels at the helm. What a wild turnaround there. The Giants dropped to 2-7. And then I think these are okay. We're still into it. All right. Just want to make sure we didn't skip ahead there. So we've got the Carolina Panthers beating the New Orleans Saints 23-22. They're both 2-7 on the year now. You had the Baltimore Ravens boat racing the Broncos 41-10. They improved to 6-3. The Broncos dropped to 5-4. The Eagles beat the Jaguars. We already talked about that when we talked about the Bears. And then, of course, you've got the Packers dropping here to the Lions 24-14. And then overtime, the LA Rams go out and beat the Seattle Seahawks 26-20. That's wild.
That's big.
Yeah, that's your
the West is open, man.
Yeah, that kind of tilts the playoff picture a little bit in the NFC.
Yep. I'm excited to get that update this week from NFL Nerd for sure.
Yeah, we'll know tomorrow after Chiefs play, right? Or who, are they playing? Is San Fran playing tomorrow or no?
With the Bucks and the Chiefs.
Bucks, that's right. Okay.
We're Chiefs fans tomorrow. As bad as it make me want to throw up on my boots. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
But we definitely want the Bucks to drop that game. So, and of course the Jets beat the Texans earlier in the week. Now, the Colts have the ball. They are currently at their own 31-yard line, and it's still 0-0 in the first quarter there. So that's just going around the league real quick, giving you an update on some of the games, some of the happenings there. So anything else you guys want to hit on? Anything we've missed in here? I know we got a few more chats. If y'all want to rattle through those real quick, I'm tired of talking, to be honest with you.
Hopefully the Vikings lose tonight. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah. Besides that, Deadfish said here at 6-3, we're the 7th seed for the playoffs, 1.5 games ahead of the 8th seed, the 4-4 Tampa Bay Bucks. I think that's big. You know, our division is extremely strong. You know, the only other option is the wild card, right? If we can't come back after Viking, you know, we have to sweep the Bears and then, you know, go 1-1 with the Lions and the Vikings coming up to even give it a shot. So right now being 0-2 in the division, I think we got to really come out strong against the Bears out of this bye week. We cannot come out flat. We got 2 weeks now to gather some information, do some digging, us and the team included, and just see what we can find out.
Yeah, definitely. Go ahead, keep hitting them with me. I'm going to pull up our schedule. That way we can kind of take a quick look at it as we get ready to sign off here.
Mr. Mikey Riggs asked, what was worse, Love's pick 6 today or the New York Jets Corley dropping the ball before crossing the goal line? I still can't believe that.
Tim, did you see it, man?
No, I did not.
Oh, my God.
Oh, it was like a reverse. Dude I think he broke one tackle, walked into the end zone. Rodgers standing there, touchdown, easy, no problem, easy money. Dude running, sprinting in, drops it right before the goal line, starts sallying right as he gets into the end zone. You can't take one more step.
Bro, somebody had that on a play too. They put a bunch of money on it. Cost them $1,500.
Oh,
they had him as the first touchdown scorer in that game.
Yikes!
I would never gamble.
Yeah, like a $5 bet.
Yeah, exactly. Wow. Crazy. But here is the Packers schedule. Obviously, with the loss today. Look at all that green, boys. There's a lot to look up, lot to be looking forward to here, right? So The Packers obviously open up week 1 with a loss. They win 2 in a row. They lose to the Vikings. They win 4 in a row, then drop this one to what many people believe is the second best team in the league there, losing by 10 points to the Lions. So up next, you go to Chicago after the bye. You go to Chicago. That's a 1 o'clock kickoff on Fox. Then you got the Niners at home, the Dolphins at home, which are a different freaking team with Tua at the helm. No
It's
doubt.
a Thursday night too.
Is it really? Yeah, you're right. Thursday night on NBC. Great.
No, is that Thanksgiving?
Thanksgiving
That's
game.
Thanksgiving.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, okay.
It's Thanksgiving not. I hope I'm awake for that. Man.
Great point though, Clayton. They got Tua back under center. They look a lot different. Starting to look like themselves again. So we cannot afford to take that Dolphins team.
That was a good game. Dolphins Bills.
Yeah. Yeah, so at the Bears, 49ers at home, Dolphins at home, at the Lions, at the Seahawks. That's going to be tough up there in Seattle.
Yep.
It always is. Saints at home, then at the Vikings, and then the Bears at home. So if we were to walk through this, just play along with me here, all right? Win at the Bears, right? Let's say, seeing that it's at home and the 49ers are banged up, let's say you win against the Niners, right? Let's say you lose to the Dolphins, just to give you one of those losses there, right? So that's what, 2-1. Let's say you lose to the Lions, that's 2-2. Let's say you still a win up there in Seattle, right? 3-2. You beat the Saints at home, that's 4-2. You beat the Vikings on the road, that's 5-2. You beat the Bears at home, that's 6-2. Let's say you drop to the Vikings and you finish 6-3. You're 12-6 on the year, right?
Yeah, but look at the NFC playoffs though. Like 12 wins might still be a wild card spot.
12 wins will definitely be. Is the North is still in play. Everything's still in play. It's still early. But I'm looking at worst case scenario. I mean, it's looking like, barring anything catastrophic happening injury-wise, you're probably going to finish winning 11, 12 games. You're going to be in the playoffs. You got a good shot. You got to go out and win these games you're supposed to win. And listen, I'm not saying they can't beat the Dolphins. I'm not saying they can't beat the Seahawks or even the Vikings up there. I mean, that's what happened last year, right? Vikings come down here, beat us. We go up there, beat them. That's possible.
Same thing with Detroit. We beat Detroit in Detroit last year and lost at home. So, I mean, maybe we could split, get that one coming up in December on the road.
Yep, definitely.
And so far out of the 8 that's left, we're still waiting on the Bears, but only 2 of them are 1 o'clock games. We fell back yesterday. Could have thrown off the time change. Maybe they didn't sleep right, whatever. Get through that game. Let's get through that and, beat the Bears early. And then game of the week, 2 Thursday nights, at least that's a week off, in between. Then we got a Sunday night, a Monday night, and then Vikings. And we're at the end of the season, man.
Well, definitely. Yep. Great point. All right, let's go to the chat. Let's wrap this thing up. Deadfish in the chat says Emmanuel Wilson had the run of the game, picking up that fumble and getting back to the line of scrimmage. Think he went back 15 yards and then forward 14 yards for a net of minus 1 yard. That was impressive. Really was. What was this? Only 13. What did that mean?
13 carries to Josh Jacobs.
Oh, yeah.
Which was tough, but like you said, 10 in the first half or whatever it was, and then only 1 or 2 in the second half. Either he was banged up or we just got away from it. Not like Wilson wasn't terrible either. He had saved us, like we just said on that chat, saved us with that only 1 yard loss there on 2nd and 10. And then he was cutting it up, and Brooks was doing the same thing. So
in the stat column that counts as negative 1 yards, and he actually gained 14, right? So
after picking up a fumble, after trying to chase that's one of the 3 we said at least of bad snaps, bad exchanges, whatever.
Yeah, definitely. Elder Grimm says Jacobs ran for 7.3 a carry. He should have had double the carries. Amen. And again, I'm trying to give the benefit of the doubt that he was banged up, seeing him leave there in the third quarter.
Yeah.
But same time, man, he should have had more carries in the first quarter. Unless that's something that carried over into the third. It could have, right? Tad Samato says some of those snaps were interesting. Yes, they were. TC fan, hold people accountable. Aaron Rodgers, LOL. I like this. TC fan says the cadence controversy has come to Green Bay.
On my knee.
Perfect drop. Let's see. Mr. Maki Riggs, good to see you, buddy. He says,
no, we already hit that.
Oh, did we?
Yeah, my bad.
Oh, okay. Let's go. Yeah, just unmark it when you hit it. My bad. Let's see. Eric Sutherland, This team played like they drank fall mash before the game. That stuff was money, man. 42 years old. I took a sip of that cup and went, what is this sorcery?
Yep.
Unbelievable. Up there on the side of a mountain in North Carolina. Boy, it's beautiful up there, boys. You seen the video I sent y'all, right?
Yeah, that was fire.
Oh, bro, it was – I didn't want to leave. I just wanted to crawl up on the hillside, go to sleep, never leave. You know what I mean?
Pitch a tent. All right, Mandy, go get some sticks. We'll start a fire.
Absolutely. You kidding me? Casey in the chat says, YouTube made it hard for me to find you for some reason, Clayton. Odd. It ain't odd, Casey. We know how they be doing us, man.
Is it just that?
I don't know. I'm not a doctor.
I want to say, for anyone who has a problem with that flag hanging behind Emilio, I'm going to say this in the most respectful way as possible. Kiss my ass. That's all I got. Not many things get me. People that like to pretend like the American flag is a racist thing, see the before comment. Okay, that's all I got to say. Venom Slash says in the chat, I'm glad we are 6-3 heading into the bye. Despite Love missing 2 games, could be much worse situation.
So true. We're blessed with Malik, man. Absolutely.
Yeah,
imagine coming into this with what we lost 5 games or whatever, 5-6 games.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Malik has been a godsend, man. I think he's good for the locker room too. And that's what I was saying at halftime was like, is it time? Like, hey, I'm okay with it if it is. You know, feel good that Malik can come in and you know give you a good performance, give you a chance to win the ball game. Right now, there's a lot of people that immediately twisted that like I was hating on Jordan Love. It's like, Jesus, can we all be adults here?
Sit your butt outside.
Exactly right. That's me saying the word Jesus too might get us knocked down a little bit too. Right. I know some people don't like it when you use Jesus' name. So it is what it is, right?
Yeah, those people probably think you're garbage. You know what I'm saying, Clay?
It could be. I don't know. Anyway, anything else, guys? Anything else at all before we get out of here?
Nothing. Appreciate everyone coming in, hanging out. I know it's a tough loss, but you know we got to go through some of them. You're going to lose games that get paid too. Tough that it was at home. Sorry, Tim. Wet, nasty. Let's just get through it. A lot of learning on this tape. Chalk Talk's probably going to be long of more head scratchers, headaches, kind of things.
Yep. But at least we'll figure out what the hell happened tonight. You know, we'll get through the tape. You know,
yeah, we got 2 weeks. We got 2 weeks to clean that up and go back, watch the Bears game, see what they did see what they didn't do against the Cardinals. See what we can kind of keep up, and we got to get rolling now.
Yeah,
right.
Definitely. Yeah, and you know that's the thing too with the bye week coming up, guys. We're going to make it really, really fun. We're going to go and for Chalk Talk that week. Obviously, this week we'll do Chalk Talk. You know, Tuesday if everything goes as planned, we'll do Chalk Talk of this game, and then during the bye week that Tuesday we're going to do Chalk Talk. We'll do the top 10 plays of the first half of the season for the Packers. That'll be a lot of fun.
Nice.
So we kind of break that down, go back and get kind of reset and ready for the ready for the second half.
That's the only thing that's a bummer is that it's a loss on a bye week going into a bye week. So you got that taste for 2 weeks. That's the only issue. That's really the only problem. We would have been fine.
It's a bummer for us, but I'm telling you, those coaches,
that's fire.
We're gonna have this team ready to go, man.
Yep,
no doubt about it.
Things could be a lot worse. I could be a Bears fan.
Damn right, Dyer. Completely agree. All right. Is there any other stats you guys wanted to see? The only other thing I wanted to say from a positive standpoint, Jaden Reed, 5 catches for 113 yards, just an absolute dog.
A quiet 5 catches for 100 yards.
Yeah, exactly. 113, Emilio. Don't you forget
that.
Like I said, Quay Walker, 12 tackles. Keyshawn Nixon, 6 tackles. I'm trying to look at the losses here. Isaiah McDuffie had a tackle for a loss. Rashawn Gary had a tackle for a loss. He also had 4 tackles and a half a sack. Kingsley Enagbare on that tackle for a loss. They tried to run that jet sweep. He said, no. That's not. Man, that guy's got some burst to him, no doubt. And then, of course, Aaron Mosby with the half sack. That might have been the only snap he played of the game. He just came in and said, you know what, let me just blow Penei Sewell right off the line.
I got 5 snaps for Aaron Mosby right now on the chart. Isaiah McDuffie so far graded out highest with 19 total snaps. Kingsley and Devontae 22-26. Colby Wooden in there for 11. What surprised me was we had Edrin Cooper 38. What were we at, 34 last week?
Mm-hmm.
So Cooper got 4 more snaps this week. Quay with 57 in there the whole time. Kenny Clark, 37. Eric Wilson with a 42. He was so far the lowest graded player on the team. That's still early, but tough game for Eric Wilson.
I think I got this right here. This is the PFF recap, right? Let's see. Highest graded players, safety Kirby Joseph from the Lions. Wide receiver Amon-Ra St. Brown from the Lions, 83.8. Sam Laporta, 83.3. Player of the game is Amon-Ra St. Brown. So they
love the sweatshirt walking into Green Bay, but we'll talk about that later.
I got to be honest with you. I laughed so hard at the headstand. I was like, what was that? Tim, what did that look like from the stands? Did you see it, man?
What?
Never mind.
Amon-Ra Selly when he did the handstand and then just stood on his helmet.
We talk about things I could care less about.
Some kid did it in college yesterday.
Tim, that's why we asked you, sir.
Yeah. Oh, man. Nope, don't care about his Selly.
Yeah.
All right, so as far as the snap count, we got some of that right here. Romeo Doubs, 54. Romeo Doubs' targets, we talked about percentage of targets on first read. First read targets, meaning he was the first read in the play design.
Yeah.
Whatever happened behind the scenes between the Packers and Romeo, they have done nothing but give him more opportunities, which is absolutely awesome, which tells me it falls within that vein that we talked about, right? Where it's like it was more of a mental thing.
Yeah.
And the Packers recognized, hey, maybe we do need to get him the ball more too. Kind of a combination of those two things. Could be wrong, but nonetheless, man, he's been on the field more than anyone. There's no doubt about that. Josh Jacobs played 35 snaps. Chris Brooks, 17. Emmanuel Wilson, 13. They really like Brooks today, unless Emmanuel was banged up. I'm not sure. So,
surprised me. Tucker, 64 total out there every play.
Yeah, exactly. Tucker Kraft, 64 snaps. And Ben Sims, only 12. So that tells you we pressed into 11 quite a bit, right? I was hoping they'd have some of the Packers preliminary grades. Sometimes they do that, but
yeah, you got to go. You got to go by game. You got to click on the Packers.
Oh, by team, you mean?
Yeah, by team. Gotcha. Yeah, but if you're looking, Isaiah McDuffie, they had him at 76 overall, top on defense. Kingsley at 70.4, Devontae Wyatt at 70.3, Colby at a 70. Then it'd be X. LVN, Aaron Mosby, Javon Bullard, Carrington Valentine, and TJ Slayton wrapping up the top 10.
Yeah. And Quay Walker is, whether any of us disagree with it or not, they see him as, hey, he is the dude, 57 snaps, man, out there every snap. So, there you go. All right, just wanted to hit on that real quick. I was going to see the prelim grades if I can find them without wasting too much time. So you're saying go to premium snap?
By game, and then click on the Lions Packers one.
I see. And again, guys, take these with a grain of salt, right? Because we don't know if they're going to stick or not. But we'll hit them real quick and just see what they look like. Let me get this adjusted here real quick. Bang. All right. So preliminary grades here. Again, these are probably going to change, but Rasheed Walker, 79.2. Christian Watson, 75.8. Ben Sims, 74.2. Ben Sims is he's a dog, dude.
Solid.
Yeah. Jaden Reed, 73.4. Emmanuel Wilson, 70.9. Zach Tom, 68.2. Josh Jacobs, 65.3 currently as it sits. I was trying to see where Jordan was. Jordan finished with a 60.4 and a passing grade of 73.3. All right. Now, defensively, let's see what we got here. Isaiah McDuffie, like you were saying, Emilio, 76.5. Kingsley Enagbare, 70.4. He played 22 snaps. Wow. Yep. That's awesome. Devontae Wyatt, 70.3. Okay, let's go.
Yeah. Devontae had a solid game today for sure.
I seen a run stuff there. I went, that's what I'm talking about.
Yep.
Yeah. Kobe Wooden, 11 snaps, 70 grade. Xavier McKinney, 68.6 on 57 snaps. Lucas Van Ness, there you go, 67.6. Aaron Mosby, 67.4, only 5 snaps. Javon Bullard, 67.2. That's much better. What's his coverage grade? There you go, 68.2 coverage grade.
Yep.
All right. Carrington Valentine, 66.5. TJ Slayton, 65.9. Keyshawn Nixon, 64.9. Let's see. Rashawn Gary early on, 56 is what they gave him. Eric Wilson had a rough day, 34.7, which him and Quay Walker, one play, they both got juked out of their cleats. It was just like, oh, God. Where's Edgerrin Cooper? Somebody get him on the damn field, please.
Yeah.
But and it's not like it's just that he plays so much more aggressive, like that start, stop, shoot that we seen on the college tape. But you could see it transitioned.
And McDuffie did it one time. I'm not mad at McDuffie on his 19 attempts. He did it that one time. I texted you. It was second or third down, but he went. He didn't care. He shot the gap and blew it up. But like you said, Cooper does it a lot more consistently with that speed.
Yeah, Kenny, it looks like early on Kenny here had a rough day, 36.3 on 37 snaps. So who got the most? He got the most of all the defensive linemen, right? 37? Yeah, looks like
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
Can we talk about how Cooper was a gunner on punt team?
Yeah, you mentioned that, right? So you seen him gunning?
Yeah, he was gunning. He actually got held by Terrion Arnold. He ran past Terrion Arnold on a gunner play, and that was the extra 10-yard hold.
Yep.
Just dusted the dude. Just unbelievable that he has that speed that we put him on the outside. I want to watch that on 22, see what it looks like.
Yeah. I saw him on a play too, chasing down a receiver into the end zone.
That'd be like putting Devontae Wyatt out there. You know what I mean? Like just put him on punt, kick coverage or something. Kickoff coverage. It's like, dude is that fast. He doesn't even. It's not even like he's in the same class as the corners, just a bigger frame.
Yep.
And Tim, thank you for this shot here, man. That is awesome. That picture.
I thought that looked familiar. Nice. Yeah. Took that from the seats in the rain.
So those were your seats, right?
Those were my seats. Yeah. Yep.
Nice. That's what I'm talking about. Tim, boy, you can't hide credit. That's what I'm Love it. All right, that's it, guys. If you would scan the QR code in the upper right, that'll send you to our Patreon page, patreon.com/PackerFan Total Access. Join our community over there. We'll be doing a giveaway next week, giving away another autographed Romeo Dobbs card. So if you're a member of one of the 3 tiers, we'll put you in the drawing for that. Spin the wheel live here on the it's normally the post-game show, but we'll just do it on a regular show since we don't have a game next week with bye coming up. So also that goes for YouTube members as well. I would recommend you join the Patreon group over the YouTube membership just because you get to join an awesome community in there.
You can chat all the time.
Yeah, you're a part of the chat, all that good stuff. It's just a way for all of us to stay connected. I was off the grid this weekend, obviously being over there in nowhere, no man's land, North Carolina, but I'm going to get caught up on all the messaging and everything. So, but yeah, I appreciate that. Y'all putting that up there. I also want to give a shout out to Godsmack for the super chat. Nick McSwain being a member for 8 months. Eldegrim with the super chat. TC Fan with the super chat. Godsmack again. Thank y'all so much for supporting the channel.
Absolutely.
We really appreciate you. So anything else, fellas? We good?
Good.
We're good.
All right. We will rebuild. All right. We will bounce back. It's all right. 10-point loss at home to the Detroit Lions, 24-14. Going to the bye week. Get healthy. Get some stuff. Y'all ready?
Musgrave stayed on his feet.
That's on me. I was trying to pull up our boy Bo for getting helmet.
Cheese curds make my stomach hurt all the time, but I do eat them though.
He's going to need just a couple in the bye week just to get him through.
That helmet to helmet was nasty.
Yeah, that was Crown. I mean, he was climbing at him. Absolutely, he was aiming for it.
Yeah,
it was different. Like look at the Poyer on the Buffalo receiver Coleman. He at least dropped his shoulder and tried to hit him in the neck area, I guess. I mean, Branch just put his helmet down into Bo Melton's face mask. Like, come on now.
Definitely. Yep. All right. Tim, you good?
As good as I can be after an L.
Hey, man, this is going to be all right. Look, just take it off. We're good to go. All right. Help me out here, though, if you don't care.
For those of you listening on the pod,
thank you for making us part of your day. As always, let's go out and be the change we want to see in the world. We will rebuild. All right? We will rebuild. Go, Pack, go. Be nice to somebody, okay? Don't go into work pissed off just because it's not a victory Monday. Be happy. That's all.